Real cases, real people. New England's Unsolved with Bob Ward.
The New Bedford Highway killing case is one of the biggest investigations in Massachusetts history. More than 35 years later, we still don't know the serial killer's identity. But as the brother of one of the victims told me, people are still talking and tips are still flowing. Along the highways and off-ramps of the New Bedford area, a deadly secret is still tightly kept. It is along these lonely stretches of road that a serial killer plied his deadly trade in the late 1980s. 9 murdered women were recovered from this area. To this day, 2 remain missing. These are the dumping grounds of the New Bedford Highway Killer, a killer who to this day remains unmasked. Did you ever think this case would go unsolved for this long?
No, I never did.
Wayne Perry is the brother of Deborah DeMello. In November 1988, her body was found at the Reed Road exit off Route 195 in Dartmouth. It's believed Deborah vanished in July, 4 months before her remains were found.
So she went out to work one day and she just didn't come back.
Get away from me!
The late New Bedford lawyer, Kenneth Pont, was the only person ever arrested in the case, but that charge was ultimately dropped. There have been other suspects, but no arrests.
I'm very, very surprised that this case has not been solved.
Maureen Boyle is the author of Shallow Graves, The Hunt for the New Bedford Highway Serial Killer. At the time of the killing spree, Maureen was a reporter for the New Bedford Standard-Times. Her book is sparking new interest in the case.
Why do you think it is? Why do you think the New Bedford Highway Killer has not been identified?
Because investigators were slow to start in the investigation, because they weren't able to identify early on that they had a serial killer in the city.
Until now, it's believed no one ever caught a glimpse of the killer. But through his Facebook page devoted to the case, Wayne Perry heard from a man with an intriguing story. The man said back in the summer of '88, he passed a van pulled over near Horseneck Beach in Westport. He said he saw 2 men struggling to throw away a large object out of the van and into the tall grass.
He said it looked to him like it was a body wrapped up in some sort of material.
It is the same general area where victim Mary Rose Santos was later found in 1989. Wayne shared pictures of the suspects with the tipster, the person twice picked out the same face.
I believe the guy 100%.
The tipster later died in a house fire. Wayne passed the information along to the DA's office.
The DA was given all this information back in 2017. They've done nothing with it.
Maureen Boyle tells me since her book was published, she's also received tips that she's passed along to authorities.
Do you think the highway killer will ever be identified?
Yes, at some point, highway killer will be identified.
Why do you feel so certain about that?
People cannot get away with murder. They just can't. And from what I know of the investigators in the cold case unit, they are very determined to bring justice to victims.
The Bristol County DA's office has said this case is still open and active, and their website urges people to contact the Mass State Police Cold Case Unit at 1-855-MA-SOLVE. For New England's Unsolved, I'm Bob Ward.